What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today we are finally back. It has been like a 3-week break since I've uploaded a video. A lot has happened. I have graduated from college. I am now officially back home, and we are hopefully going to be getting into a more consistent upload schedule. So yeah, if you've come to this channel between, I guess the most recent video and the start of last September, you have no idea what this background, this setup looks like. It's a lot different than my one at school, and it is obviously going to take a little bit of adjusting for me to get back used to this, but I'm happy to be home, happy to be back in my normal setup. Not everything is fully put together yet, but we're slowly but surely getting there, and I'm really excited today to bring you an Atlanta Hawks offseason rebuild. So stick with me. It has been 3 weeks since I've uploaded a video, but it has been a little bit over a month since I've actually recorded one, so I might be a little bit rusty. As I mentioned, man, offseason Hawks rebuild is going to be 3 seasons and 3 off seasons. I like doing the extra off season. It really feels like a way to kind of make the videos a little bit more interesting, kind of spice things up a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, we're into the first off season right now. I've simulated all the way up to the draft. We do have the 16th overall pick. I'm already all over the place. Let's get into it. So as I mentioned in the intro, stick with me. This one is definitely going to be a little bit rough. I'm still actually playing with some settings on my camera. It looks a little slow right now, which is weird. I'm in the process of also getting a much newer and better camera. So back to this normal video though. As I mentioned, we are up to the draft. We got Hawks here, have the 16th overall pick. I think I can go a bunch of ways with this. This team has a decent amount of depth, but I think I can honestly really build on that. Obviously, the Hawks per team that just 2 years ago were in the Eastern Conference Finals. So we have a lot of talent on this team, a lot of young talent, if you will, and I think there is a lot of moves that could be made with this team to potentially push us over that hump. So as I mentioned, we got that 16th overall pick. We do not have every team's pick updated. Like, I do not believe the Magic have the first overall pick. I'm trying to find a shared file on PS5 that has everything up to date for the offseason. If anybody has a really good one, please let me know down below in the comment section, because I could use it for all these offseason rebuilds instead of just going ahead and, I guess, setting the one pick for every single team, if you know what I'm saying, every time I do one of them. That is the 16th overall pick in the second round. I'm going to go ahead and change that, and I will be back. So we're off to a really good start. I already screwed that one up, but yes, as I mentioned, 16th overall pick. It is now officially on this team. And let's see some prospects, some potential options for us here at number 16. None of these top guys are going to be here, especially the top 3 of Smith, Holmgren, and Banchero. But if we kind of go down the board a little bit, we got to kind of... I can't speak, man. It always happens. We got some options here. I think Johnny Davis could be a pretty solid option for us if he does fall that late. Ty Washington, Adrian Griffin Jr., Dyson Daniels. So let's just sim up to the pick, because I do want to use it. It's not often I use mid first round picks, even late first round picks. So we're going to spice some things up today. First video back in a while. Let's go ahead and see if we can kind of settle on what we want to do here. So let's go ahead and look at the summary so far. Holmgren went 1. I believe that's probably how it's going to work in real life. I guess the Magic have 2 here. They got Jabari Smith Jr. It's not like that's a bad pick, and then Banchero. So the top 3, no surprise there really with those 3. Sharp goes, Washington goes, Johnny Davis, Griffin Jr. went, Durant went. Okay. We definitely have some options here. Jaden Hardy is here. He's a 75 overall. I'm not 100% saying I need a shooting guard by any means, but we look at this roster. The point guard spot's 100% solidified. I'm very comfortable with Clint Capella as our center. I'm very comfortable with John Collins as our power forward. I know how he kind of plays in this game. And then I honestly do have a lot of confidence in DeAndre Hunter. So whoever I pick here at 16 is not going to go ahead and just pass Bogdanovich or anything like that. But honestly, I think he could be a guy that ends up developing quite a bit, no matter who we take here. And again, this is obviously a very deep team as well. Jalen Johnson here as well. Pretty impressive rookie season out of him as well. So we got some moves to make. I think I do know who I'm going to go ahead and select here. I think it's probably going to be Jaden Hardy. We know his overall. I think he's going to be a pretty good fit for this team. 20 years of age, Jaden Hardy, welcome to the squad. We're going to trade our second round pick because I just really... Okay, you can draft somebody for me there. I do not need it. We will sim to the end of this draft. Jaden Harvey's officially an Atlanta Hawk. He's a 74 overall. We took Peyton Watson. Okay, wow. He fell to almost the end of the draft. 70 overall, not bad. Hey, I don't know much about him, but if I've heard of you before and you're a late second round pick, you're going to be on this team. We have no team player options. We are not going to have a lot of cap space moving into free agency, which is something that is a little bit annoying. Skylar Mays, I'll give him the qualifying. Kevin Knox, no, not for $7.3 million. I just don't see a reason for it. Kevin Knox, man. I had such high hopes, and then bro wore a Fortnite jacket to the draft, and he played really good in the summer league, and just that was a whole clusterfuck of an offseason at that point for the Knicks, and I guess it's pretty much been a big clusterfuck ever since. All right, we're into free agency now. We do not have a lot of money. Kevin Knox is our one and only free agent. It gave him the qualifying offer because no matter what, it always gives him the qualifying offer, even if I do not give them the qualifying offer. So he's not going to be on this team. I'm not going to let him come back if he does somehow end up accepting that qualifying offer. He's gone. We're going to trade him. So, Trae Young is here. He's the face of this franchise. He's their star player. He's the guy we're going to be building around today. He's obviously somebody who's not the best defensive player. If I'm going to go ahead and get a backup point guard, it would preferably be somebody who's really good on the defensive end of the ball. Bogdanovic is here, Huerter is here, and Jaden Hardy is here. I do not need all three of these guys. I'm not huge on Bogdanovic. I never really have been. I love Kevin Huerter's shooting ability, but I just don't know if either of these two guys can confidently start on a team that I would really like to compete in the Eastern Conference. So we'll figure out what we're going to do there. I'm very comfortable with DeAndre Hunter. I would like to get maybe a better backup small forward here. We're very solid here at the power forward spot. I'm actually looking to move on from Gallo. I think his time and services here have been good. He's a good stretch four. We're going to move on from him at the age of 33 with Jalen Johnson on the come up. I think it does make sense with John Collins, obviously solidified in that starter role. And then probably one of the best two center combos here in the Eastern Conference with Okongwu and Capella. Both really, really solid inside, and I honestly think that we're going to probably have them both for the remainder of the video. So that's a little bit of a team overview. I'm going to trade Gallinari now, and then we're going to figure out our next move. So this is probably never a trade that I would do again, but it's more of an experimental thing, if you will. And let me explain why I'm going to be doing this trade. There's two main reasons why I'm going to be making the trade of Bogdanovic, Danilo Gallinari, in a second over to Golden State for Klay Thompson and a future first-round pick. Now, issue number one here, Klay Thompson obviously solves a lot of defensive issues in the backcourt next to Trae Young. I think it's pretty obvious that Trae Young's not the best defensive player in the NBA. He's probably one of the worst defensive players in the NBA. Klay Thompson can pick up a little bit of that slack. Hopefully, Klay's obviously not the defender he once was, but he's still a pretty solid defensive player, especially here in 2K. And option number two, or reason number two, rather, is I want to see that shooting of Trae Young and Klay Thompson, even if it's just for a season. I really want to look at those numbers after the first year. So we're going to be doing this trade here with the Golden State Warriors. Again, I mentioned I'm not huge on Bogdanovic. Gallinari was really just an extra piece at this point, and we acquire a first-round pick. So trade number one of the offseason is in the books. We now have our new starting shooting guard, which means we probably have one shooting guard spot that we can kind of go ahead and figure out what we want to do with, because Kevin Huerter is still here on a rather large deal, I would say, for probably the services that he will provide. And I do want to maybe potentially develop Jaden Hardy. So I think I can maybe go ahead and confidently trade Kevin Huerter, maybe pick up a new backup small forward, then honestly kind of roll with this team the way it is right now. We'll probably be in a 9-man rotation. Might sign some sort of defensive-minded backup point guard. Again, I don't really know how good Sharife Cooper's perimeter defense or his defensive skills are. He has a grade of B for the perimeter defense. Again, I don't know a ton about Sharife Cooper. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But he's on a two-way deal right now. But again, we could kind of go a couple different ways with that. He's a little bit undersized at 6'1", similar with Trae Young. But Kevin Huerter, I'd like to maybe go ahead and trade for a new backup small forward. Maybe potentially could just move him there to the, maybe could just go ahead and potentially move him there to that backup small forward role. He is 6'7", but I'll explore the market and then we'll go from there. I wasn't really loving any of the trades I was seeing for Kevin Huerter on the market. There really wasn't a ton of players I could throw in with him. We moved over to the small forward spot. We moved that position. He actually goes up to a 79 overall. So he's going to be my my backup small forward behind DeAndre Hunter, who again, I've mentioned it a couple times now. I'm still very high on. I still think has quite a bit of potential. And we're going to probably go ahead and look to sign some sort of backup point guard. It's not that I don't trust Sharife Cooper. I would just like to have the depth just in case and maybe go ahead and spend a little bit of money here, even if we don't have a ton. So, defensive-minded guards. I mean, obviously a guy like Eric Bledsoe, who's a solid defender, even though he is only 6'1". My thing with him is, though, he's probably going to start to regress a little bit. DeLon Wright at that B-plus perimeter defense. So obviously Rondo's here, just the age thing. Obviously a huge factor, and I don't know if Rondo would really want to go back to Atlanta. But my options here are limited. So maybe bringing Eric Bledsoe in on a one-year deal. I'll probably go ahead and give him around $5.2 million. It's not a huge signing. It's not any, headline breaker, if you will. But overall, for me, it's going to be solid enough for at least one season at that backup point guard spot. We are going to let DeLon Wright go. TLC, Kevin Knox, goodbye. Skylar Mays, Sean Lee Brown Jr., goodbye. Welcome to the team, Eric Bledsoe. Again, who knows if he'll actually end up really playing or not, but he's going to be on the squad. He's going to be a backup to Trae Young. We're going to have hopefully a 9 or 10-man rotation. I will see you guys at the start of the first year here in Atlanta. So when I made the trade for Klay Thompson, this is one of the things that I knew was going to happen. It pretty much happens with a lot of older guys here in 2K. The overall starts to go down. It tends to hit quite hard in the regression department. He's down to an 81 overall. If he has a really shitty season, he's obviously going to get traded. There was a good chance I was moving on from him after 1 year anyways. It was more of an experiment, something I really wanted to see. Kind of start my return to 2K, if you will. So he's an 81 overall. Making $40 million. It's probably not going to work out for more than a year. But we're going to give it a test here for year number one. It's going to be Trae Young, Kevin Thompson, Klay Thompson, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, and Clint Capella. Again, really loving this front court right here. Excited to see what they can do. Bench unit's going to be led by Kevin Huerter. If you guys know me, been watching me for a minute, I'm not a big fan of having big men as my six man. So Huerter will be our six man here, followed by Okongwu. Jalen Johnson, I'm giving the nod to Sharife Cooper. He's progressing quite well. I honestly probably should have just went with him in hindsight, but he's still on the team. It really doesn't change anything. Jaden Hardy going to be getting 10 minutes, our 16th overall pick. in the 2022 draft. And then Eric Bledsoe is here if we ever need him for defense. Good veteran presence off the bench. Him and Bryn Forbes. Interesting combo there. All right, this is a good team. Is it a championship contender right now? Probably not in my opinion, but we've seen some pretty crazy things happen here in 2K. I've seen Trae Young win a whole bunch of MVPs when I sim these things. Maybe he can do it again for us this year. I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. First season here in Atlanta does come to an end. We are not getting an MVP award in Trae Young, but what we are getting here is a 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, and that's honestly what I really care about from a team perspective anyways. Luka Doncic is your MVP. Bro puts up just ridiculous stat lines. It's honestly crazy how much they love him here in 2K. 37 points a game, 11 rebounds, almost 8 assists, 1 steal, almost 1 block. 52.5% from the field, almost 45% from 3. Dude's on another planet. Chet Holmgren, your Rookie of the Year, is in Detroit. Not a bad rookie campaign for Chet. Ben Simmons, 6th Man of the Year. Congrats, Brickleberry. Shot 24% from 3. I can't even believe it was that high at this point. Matisse Thybulle, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. I think he could possibly be a real trade candidate in this offseason. I don't know how much longer he has in Philadelphia. I think Philly has to make some very tough decisions this offseason. I get it, Embiid was hurt, but I just don't think that core right now in Philadelphia is good enough to win. I'm sorry, I don't think James Harden is what he used to be, and I know that sucks for a lot of people to hear who are big James Harden fans, but we're not going to focus on that right now. I'm just saying Matisse Thybulle could be an optional piece to be moved. THT, Most Improved Player, the guy that the Lakers will not trade for the next coming of Larry Bird, it seems. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Congrats to you, Willie. And we are a 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. So, wow, the Pacers really making a run. We'll check out some standings-wise. We finished with a record of 55-27, 2 games behind the Boston Celtics, who at the time of recording this video just spanked the Miami Heat in Game 4. You'd love to see it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some stats on the year. Trae Young putting up 30-plus a game. John Collins. Klay Thompson with 15. That's honestly not that bad. 3 boards, 2.5 assists. What did the 3-point shooting look like for these two? 42 and 42. So it's pretty cool to see. Obviously, I don't think Klay Thompson's worth $40+ million a year. I think that money could definitely be allocated elsewhere for some more significant funds, some better options, some better options, if you will. But again, it was a fun experiment, and we'll see how it works here in the playoffs. Trae with a double-double on the season. So we will sim the play and see who we got here in the first round. It is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. Awesome. We got a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals from 2 years ago. Drew Holiday, they picked up Duncan Robinson. Honestly, not a bad acquisition. Duncan Robinson was somebody who played very well for the Miami Heat for a long time, and they gave Bro a bag, and now he's their 12th man. I'm not really sure what happened, but good for you, Duncan. But he'd be a great shooter for this Milwaukee Bucks team. Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Andre Drummond in the front court next to Giannis just looks like the worst thing of all time. Dwight Powell, Dwayne Devin, Jordan Nwora. It sucks they lost Brook Lopez, but we'll go game by game with them. Honestly, 2K loves the Bucks. They love Giannis. I think Giannis is probably making it himself alone a better team than us, but we win in 5. Moving on to round 2, we got the Philadelphia 76ers coming up. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Embiid, Gary Payton. Speaking of the 76ers, I'll go over this quickly. I think Tobias Harris is definitely somebody who could be an option to be moved. I mean, it's not an easy contract to move, but I think for maybe the production standpoint, if you will, of what he actually brings to the table, I think that maybe moving on from him, getting a couple more rotation pieces would be a better option. I mean, again, I know James Harden is not the James Harden of 2018, but I think Harden could maybe take a next step if he can maybe finally get a full season in Philadelphia or just a full season somewhere, for the love of God. And then maybe move on from Harris. But we'll get into a 76ers offseason rebuild soon. If you want to see that, let me know down below in the comments section. We quickly take a 2-0 lead, make it 3-0 here on Philadelphia. Thanks for coming. They pick up a game in Game 4. They pick up a game in Game 5. We are moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Garland, Okoro, Markkanen, Mobley, Allen, Sexton. Cleveland Cavaliers, very young, up-and-coming team. I would have loved to have seen them in the playoffs. They lost in the play-in, unfortunately. We'll go game by game with them. We're 1-1 right now. We are up 2-1 here in the Eastern Conference Finals, so now we have a best of 3 as the series is tied at 2 games apiece. We go up 3-2, and can we make it to the NBA Finals? We're going Game 7 here. I don't hop into games unless it is an NBA Finals game, so let's see what happens. We're in the NBA Finals, and oh boy, here comes Zion and the big bad Pelicans. 94 overall Zion Williamson is just an absolute cheat code in this game, even though he legitimately has not played basketball in a year. But, that's just me. We're down 1-0. We're 1-1 with them right now. We're down 2-1. We're 2-2, so another best of 3 series. Here we go up 3-2. Hey, I'll get a little bit of gameplay a little early on. A little return to 2K, if you will. Get a little bit of gameplay. It looks like we're going to be winning this game. Unless we have a blown lead of significant portions. And it looks like, yeah, we're going to be holding this one out. So we're going to be getting it. Hold up. We're going to be getting a championship here in area number 1. I'll get a little bit of gameplay. You never know when you're going to be back. I'll see you guys in there. So I guess if you want to say that the Klay Thompson experiment worked out, I guess it kind of did. I'm still probably going to be moving on from him. It's weird to say, but, he's going to be, what, 33, 34 years old now and making $40 million, averaging 15 points a game. I don't play with injuries on, so I can't really say he's injury prone. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like I have better options, if you will. And I can probably maybe get a little bit of value for him. Oh, there goes Zion again. Get that shit out of here. I can probably get a little bit of value for him now that I've won a championship with him. So we'll see. Trae Young up to the rack. Thank you very much. I thought bro was about to dunk. That would have been crazy. Yeah, we got a 9-point lead here. 1:44 left to go. We're on our home floor, up 3-2 in the series. I would like to just close him out without any stress. Please, CJ McCollum, putting the absolute spin moves on me. He's going to miss that one. Thank you very much. They're called clamps. Look them up. All right, we're going to go pick and roll. As I'm sure many of you know, I am absolutely brutally bad at this basketball game, so I run pick and rolls. I don't really tend to try to play off-ball D unless it's like a completely close game. So I'll try to play a little bit on-ball D. Honestly, Trae hasn't been out. Okay, I say that now. That should have probably been a foul. But not bad so far. Not bad so far. Maybe I'll try to run a play. Let's run a floppy. I would like to get the floppy to Trae. I don't really know who it's going to go to. It's going to probably go to Kevin Huerter right here. Off ball. Can we get that to go? No, we cannot. John Collins with the board. Put back and one. Thank you very much. Count it. We'll probably do one more possession on either side of this one. It looks like it's pretty much wrapped up here, and sitting in that exit loading screen, if you will, is always an absolute nightmare after simming, or playing an NBA Finals game here in 2K. I have not played 2K in legitimately over a month, probably in-game and way longer than that. I'm actually not even playing that bad right now for my typical skill level, if you will. So I'm pleasantly surprised right now that I didn't somehow completely choke this. But this will probably be our final offensive possession, as I'm assuming this is more likely than not over. So Capella, dunk it, slam it home. Championship year number 1. As I mentioned, we win a championship here in year number 1 in Atlanta. It obviously does take a little bit of the pressure off us, if you will. Our goal is to still continue to win championships. Trae Young, Finals MVP. No real surprise there. I don't want to stop now. I want to continue building this team. I think there's many different ways we can kind of go about this, and I don't think this team has reached its max potential whatsoever. So let's fly into it. We're going to go ahead and reject all these as, oh, what is this? That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. They always do that. Such a dumb rule. If you want to pause, go back and read that. Lottery time. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy, do not think anything will sim this real quick. Thunder, Bulls, Trailblazers, Knicks, Pelicans via the Lakers. God, that Anthony Davis trade is still interesting. I mean, like, you can look at that trade from both sides. Like, you look at it from the perspective that, like, yes, the Lakers won a finals. They won a championship. You can say it's in the bubble. This is my take on it. You can call it a Mickey Mouse ring. You can call it in a Disney World ring, whatever the hell you want to call it. Reality of the situation is, no, there was no fans, so there was really no home court. So that's maybe the one little piece there, but every single team had the same opportunity. That's just my thing. So that trade to me is just interesting. I don't know what the future of the Lakers looks like. Maybe those picks will help turn the Pelicans into a championship contender years down the line. But again, the Lakers won a championship, so in my opinion, they're still winning the trade right now. Staff signing, I will not be firing Nate McMillan fresh off a championship. That would be absolutely idiotic. We will now head up and see if we do have any trades, or excuse me, any picks in this year's draft. We do. We have, wow, 30th overall and then 2 late seconds. I do not need any of these. What was the best trade here? I'll do this. I don't need any of these. I'm pretty much content. Thank you, Milwaukee. Cool. All right, let's head up to team player options right now. See what we got here. Kongu, yes. Johnson, yes. Sharif Cooper, yes. Peyton Watson can come back. He's probably really never going to play, but he can come back. DeAndre Hunter is somebody I definitely 100 million% would like to bring back. He is a very key piece to this team. I think he's a very big reason we won a championship. So we obviously do not have any money here in free agency, so it really wouldn't make much sense to maybe break up this core and go after a big free agent like a Nikola Jokic or somebody like that. But some options we do have with this team. I think maybe moving on from Klay Thompson. That, winning a championship really didn't change my mind much there. I still think we should get a little bit younger at that shooting guard spot, even though I loved his defense on this squad. What's his defensive rating? His perimeter defense rating is still an A, so my point stands. Obviously, he's still a really good shooter, but I'd like to get a little bit younger. We're obviously going to re-sign Hunter. Let's go ahead and get a Klay Thompson trade done. So I'm honestly surprised that the Dallas Mavericks even want to offer this. Klay Thompson, Peyton Watson, and a second-round pick. Heading to Dallas for Jalen Brunson and Davis Bertans. I'm assuming the main reason they want to do this is because, one, that core is probably not working out. Two, Bertans' contract is absolutely brutal for the overall that he is. I still think he's a key piece in that Dallas Mavericks playoff run so far. They're down 3-0 currently. But Jalen Brunson's going to come in. He's going to be a key piece of this team. He's a lot younger. I think he's ultimately going to be a little bit better than Klay Thompson. He knew a lot more things at this point in his career than Klay Thompson can at this point in his career. So my next focus is to immediately, for the good of everybody, get Davis Bertans away from Atlanta. I do not know why Cleveland wants to give me a first-round pick. I'm going to do it before they change their mind. We're going to call that a trade. All right, so we now have a starting shooting guard in Jalen Brunson. A little bit undersized, 6'1", so we lose a little bit of that defense there, what Klay Thompson could bring to the table. But I'm still very comfortable with this. He's an A- three-point shooter here. I'm very, very comfortable with him. We just won a championship. I think he can fit in nicely to this squad. So Cooper will still be the backup to Trae Young. I'm obviously going to go ahead and look to bring back DeAndre Hunter, and then I think the rest of the team is honestly probably set. I don't really see a reason not to give DeAndre Hunter a real contract, so I'm probably going to wait. That's a trade exception. I'm going to wait till after moratorium and then re-sign him because he's going to be here for the final year anyways, so might as well just wait. And DeAndre Hunter, I don't have money. No, I don't. Excuse me. DeAndre Hunter, welcome back. He only wants $12.5 million a year. That's honestly a steal for me. So you guys at the start of year number 2. The starting 5 has one major change from last season, that being the addition here of Jalen Brunson at that shooting guard spot. We got younger. We got faster. I think we got better overall as a team. Klay Thompson, I thank you for your service. You were a key piece of this championship team. We had decided to move on, and I'm happy with the move. Let's see if it works out for year number 2. It's going to be Trae Young, Jalen Brunson, and DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, and Clint Capella. Again, I mentioned it before. I'll say it again. I really love this front court, especially here in 2K anyways. And I think it's done wonders for us so far. Hopefully continue to do that. I'm very happy I decided not to trade Kevin Huerter. He was a really good six-man for us last year. I'd like him to continue that role. We have Kongwu, we have Sharif Cooper, Jalen Johnson, and Jaden Hardy. So still a relatively young bench, if you will. Obviously, they have won a championship now, so they do have a lot of experience. But you still worry about young benches in the playoffs. I'm not particularly worried about ours. Again, as I mentioned, the championship thing tends to be pretty big. I'd like to go back-to-back. Let's see if that's possible. See you guys at the end of year number 2. So we wanted it last year, and we got it this year. Trae Young, first career MVP. He averaged 35 points, 4 rebounds, 10.5 assists, 1 steal, 51.5% from the field, almost 45% from beyond the arc. Really solid season for our superstar here in Atlanta. Victor Wembanyama, your Rookie of the Year in Oklahoma City. Ben Simmons, again, winning Sixth Man of the Year. Congrats, Brickleberry. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. Keegan Murray, Most Improved. I'm not even going to lie to you, dude. I have no idea who you are. Probably a high pick in this year's draft. I don't know. Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year. Looks like the Dallas Mavericks are very, very good. It looks like the New Orleans Pelicans. Wait, is Jason Kidd not the Mavericks coach anymore? I don't know. I don't question things. Standings-wise, we were 58-24. Brooklyn won 61 games. Looks like they might be a little bit of a threat for us here in the Eastern Conference. We can check on some player stats right now. Trae Young, 35 points, as I mentioned. Awesome to see. Collins. Capella. Brunson took a little bit more of a backseat than I originally would have thought he would. I'd like to be around this 15, 16 point per game mark. I get it, but I don't. I feel like Dallas doesn't have a guy like Capella or Collins, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like he still probably would have scored more than them. I don't know. I care about wins. I don't really care about stats at the end of the day. Here in 2K anyways. Rebounds was Capella and assists was Trae Young. So we once again are a 2 seed. We once again will sim the play-in. See who we got in the first round. It's going to be Philadelphia, who we beat last year. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Bruce Brown, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, then Alvin Malik Monk coming off the bench and moved Thibault to the bench. Gary Payton II, Ferdinand Korkmaz. They've revamped their roster a bit overall-wise. I think we're still the better team, and I'd like to hopefully get by them rather easily. We go up 3-1, and we win 4 straight. Cool. Thanks for coming. Moving on to Charlotte, a team we have not faced yet. A battle of 2 elite point guards here in the Eastern Conference, Trae Young and LaMelo Ball. LaMelo, Rozier, Ousmane Dieng, Kai Jones, Tingus Pingus, PJ Washington, Kyle Anderson. It's good. I think it's pretty much a one-man show with LaMelo. I think Kristaps Porzingis being an 89 overall might be a bit generous by 2K. We're up 3-2 here, and we close them out in 6. Moving on to Cleveland, who I believe we faced in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Garland, Okoro, Markkanen, Mobley, Allen. They got Love coming off the bench. They've got Drummond coming off the bench. Okay. We'll go get... Wow, we're down 2-0. We're down 3-0. Wow. We just got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals by the Cleveland Cavaliers. All power to you. They go on to win the finals. At least we can say we lost to the championship team. So we do not go back-to-back, unfortunately. Our goal now is to get 2 out of 3 championships in today's video. Would have been cool to get a 3-peat in my first video back. Unfortunately, can't always have everything we do want. League meeting time, we only have 1 approved. We will reject that, and we will now head up to staff signing. I believe that technically... Yeah, what the fuck's his name? I'm so bad. Nate McMillan, that's who it was. So do I want to bring back Nate McMillan? With a guy like Mike Stauffer here, who I know has unbelievable ratings. Guy like Jacob Underwood here, who has great offensive-minded coaching. But, like, Stauffer's just, like, he's not a cheat code. Ooh, Ty Lue's here. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, shit, I fucked that one up. I was going to try to sign Ty Lue, and I kind of screwed it up. I meant to give him more money. Actually, I couldn't even pay him more money. Stauffer wants to sign. I'll sign Mike Stauffer. Nothing against David McMillan, but when Mike Stauffer's there, who has, like, literally 100% ratings and everything, which I think is dumb. He's one of, like, the guys who I believe works on my NBA, my league, whatever you want to call it, every single year. Man just makes himself very, very good of a head coach in this game. Whatever. Okay, let's see what we got in the draft. We have the 27th overall pick. Probably another draft. I'm not going to use these. Again, we still have a very young and very, very good bench, if you will. I don't really see a reason for us to go ahead and kind of change those things. Johnson and Hardy are 100% both coming back. Qualifying, Sharif Cooper, yes. Okongwu, 100% yes. Might do the qualifying offer glitch on both of them. I don't really see a reason why I'd go ahead and give them a real contract heading into the final year. Okongwu wants some fat bills. Sharif Cooper, not bad, but they're both going to get the qualifying offers. Everybody else is free to go. TJ Leaf, whatever happened to that man? Good God. All right, so we got kind of the core back. We got everybody we basically kind of need back on this squad. It's not that I'm not comfortable with this team. I just think maybe a move or two wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. So I'll see you guys if I have a trade. I'm going to do everything I can to get Colin Sexton. I don't have anything against Jalen Brunson. It ultimately just really wasn't a good fit. It wasn't the fit that I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to take a little bit of the pressure off Trae Young. It really didn't end up working out, and that's nothing against Jalen Brunson. Not every man is supposed to fit on every single team. We are heading into the final season, so if they want 5 first-round picks, they can ultimately have it. This is not a realistic rebuild whatsoever. So, yeah, they takes 4, and Colin Sexton is officially our newest shooting guard. So, I think he's going to add a little bit of a scoring dynamic and take a little bit of the pressure off of Trae Young. And the backcourt, again, he's still really undersized, so we kind of didn't really fix that issue, but hopefully kind of fixes a little bit of the scoring issue, maybe takes a little bit of the pressure off guys like Collins, maybe a little bit off Capella. So that's our one move of the offseason, our one major move, if you will. I will see you guys at the start of the third and final year. For the second straight season, we only have one change to the starting 5, that being the addition here of Colin Sexton instead of Jalen Brunson. Again, I said it before in the offseason when we made the trade. It's nothing against Jalen Brunson. He's a really good player, and I think he's going to get an absolute bag this offseason in real life. It just wasn't a good fit next to Trae Young. I probably should have seen that one coming from an overall basketball perspective here of 2K. But we'll see how Sexton works next to him. Obviously, they're both very good scorers of the basketball. I don't know if that would become an issue. Obviously, Jalen Brunson can score the basketball, so maybe it'll be a little bit of the same thing, but can't be insane. Can't do the same thing 2 years in a row when it didn't work. Trae Young, Colin Sexton, DeAndre Hunter, who I honestly thought would progress a little bit more. Like, he's kind of regressed almost every single season, at least in the points per game department, which I thought was a little bit weird, but I guess his 3-point scoring got better for 2 years, then just took a little bit of a dip last year. I don't really know what's going on with him. He's kind of just there. Whatever. John Collins, Clint Capella. We have Kevin Huerter off the bench, who's probably providing the majority of the scoring. We have Onyeka Okongwu, Jalen Johnson, Sharif Cooper, and Jaden Hardy. So it's a really good bench. Overall-wise, I mean, it's weird giving a 79 overall 14 minutes, especially considering our starting small forward is a 79 overall, and he's getting 30 minutes, but kind of the way it goes. If something's not working around the deadline, I want to make a move, make an adjustment. Of course, I will show you guys that, but as of now, I'm very confident in this squad. I'm hoping we can get 2 championships in 3 years. It'd be really cool as a reintroduction to 2K, if you will. See you guys at the end of year number 3. Final regular season comes to an end. We are no longer a 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. We have moved on to greener pastures and are a 1 seed. Luka Doncic, once again, MVP. So the 2 guys who got traded for each other take turns winning MVPs throughout today's video. Kwame Evans Jr., Rookie of the Year is in OKC. They got a nice young core there, I'm sure. Brickleberry Simmons, 3rd year in a row, 6th man. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. Paolo Banchero, Most Improved. Mike Stauffer, Coach of the Year. We do go 60 and 22, as you can just saw on the screen. And it is pretty cool to see. We're 1 game ahead of the Detroit Pistons, who are definitely on the rise. All right, numbers-wise, Trae Young, Colin Sexton. So Sexton definitely did take a little bit of the pressure, if you will, off of Trae Young. I'm never going to be mad about Trae Young taking a dip in scoring when he just got a guy who probably averaged 10 more points per game than our second leading scorer in years past. So, John Collins, Clint Capella, Okongwu, Hunter. I'm happy with the squad, man. I think everybody's doing their job well, and I think if that continues, I think we're going to have a pretty good playoff run. Let's sim the play-in. We got Boston here in the first round. Peyton Pritchard, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Caleb Martin, Robert Williams, White, Marcus Smart. I have no idea why Marcus Smart is not starting over Peyton Pritchard. That just makes no sense to me, but we're up 2-0. We're up 3-0, and okay. Thanks for coming, Boston. Cleveland here, who actually won the finals last year. Sexton's on our team now. Garland, Okoro, Markkanen, Mobley, Jared Allen. They got Bobby Portis Jr., Xavier Tillman. So they're really boosting that bench a little bit, if you will. I'd like a little bit of revenge, if you will. I would. That would really entice me. We're 2-2, so we got a best of 3. We go up 3-2. We got a Game 7 here in the Eastern Conference semifinals against Cleveland, and we fucking lose. That's just fucking awesome. All right, well, we got a championship today. Ultimately, not the way that not the way that I was kind of hoping I return win. I was kind of hoping for at least 2 championships, but nonetheless, getting a championship in Atlanta after that just interesting little disaster. I don't want to call it a disaster. Like, they were in the playoffs. I mean, they got destroyed by the Miami Heat, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year shouldn't like be that bad throughout the regular season. And I know they dealt with injuries and everything like that, but every team does. So I don't know. Who knows? I think the Hawks could do a lot of fun things this offseason. I think they got a lot of assets, a lot of pieces they can move, and ultimately I think they are a fun young team that has the potential to be very good for a very long time. So that was the Hawks offseason rebuild. I have had that thumbnail sitting in my email inbox for about 3 weeks now, so I thought I would just start out with that one. But of course, I do want to hear from you guys. We can do more offseason rebuilds. We can do prospect rebuilds. We can do hypothetical free agent rebuilds. Whatever you guys want to see, I am down for it. I don't know if uploads are going to be exactly daily like they were last summer, that I had a 91-day upload streak that honestly took a lot out of me, but it was awesome last summer. I had a really good summer with you guys last summer. It's a little different now because, you know, I'm kind of an adult now. I'm graduated college and everything. Have a big boy job, so I really need to focus on that. But I'm going to do my best ultimately to kind of go ahead and get as many videos out as possible. It's not going to be like college. It will definitely be a lot more videos than when I was at school. But hopefully you guys did understand that, and I hope you guys were able to at least kind of enjoy the videos that I had while I was there for basically since September. So we're back now, though. I'm excited to be back in my own home. Excited to be back in my own setup. And I'm really excited to be back with you guys, most importantly. So, of course, if you guys are new around here, new to the community, we would love to have you. Hit that subscribe button, join the channel, join the community. Other than that, that pretty much wraps this one up. I want every single one of your video ideas down below in the comment section. I know this is late and most people tend to click off the video at this point, but if you have made it to this point, you guys want an update video of what my plans are. I know I just gave you a little synopsis, but I can kind of dive in a little bit more into it. If you guys want that, let me know down below in the comment section. I'll probably mention it at the start of the next video as well. That is a long outro. I apologize about that. I'm happy to be back. I truly do love you guys. Thank you guys all so much for watching. See you guys all in the next one.